Let's do this. Okay, the first quality of a control freak is they're obnoxious. That was big grammar for me. I had to go and check it everywhere. And let me just break it down for you, that a control freak, so you know if that's you they're talking about or somebody around you they're talking about. Most people that do so well, they are up to date. You can't really fault them. Such people are really very scary to be around because they kind of become a judgment for you. I used to be like that sometimes. I had a child that's like that. I'm even scared sometimes. People that do everything the way they're supposed to do it. But that is good. What is terrible is when they hold other people to their own standard. It's saying here that whoever is like that, that's one of the traits of a control freak. People that look at you and say, no, you shouldn't do that. Oh my God, what time do you wake up? You wake up at so time. Oh my word. No, you should wake up at this time because that's what they do. Maybe that's the time you're supposed to wake up, but the way they call people out, it's so obnoxious. You don't want to be around people like that. People that call you out in such a way that makes you feel, oh my God, I can't even. They see when you are not matching your clothes well. They look at your leg and say, oh my God, blue should have gone better. Why are you wearing, that color? And things like that, because they know what fashion is all about. And now it's not only just dressing. There's some people that, you can be married to somebody like that who just thinks that things are supposed to be, prim and proper. And when they want to tell you about it, they make you see that, can't you see my life? That is the way things are supposed to be. I can't even believe that you will not do it that way. Do you call that frying egg? Why did you put that before that? You understand what I'm talking about now? That's one of the attributes of a control freak. Have you met somebody like that? Or are you like that? It's time for you to repent if you're like that. It's good that you're good, okay? But don't call people out in such a way that they feel bad about themselves. Learn to tolerate people a little bit. Everybody can be like you. That's what I'm saying. Now, the second quality, hey, for your life to change, you've got to move your I want to list to I've got to list. There are 5 things you've got to do this week. Every morning, hijack your day by saying, this is a good day. And good things are going to happen for me today, with me today, in me today, through me today, because the Lord made this day. Number 2, make sure you have 8 hours of sleep every day this week. Number 3, make sure you exercise 3,000 steps daily this week. Number 4, show someone an act of kindness every day this week. And number 5, like this video or subscribe to this channel if you have not. This is Olufolake. All the control freak is they are tenacious. And when I read this, I said, oh my God, it's good to be tenacious, isn't it? No, but what they're talking about here is that they are stubborn. They can be doing what is not acceptable or what is not helping other people. As long as it's okay for them, they stay on it, even if it's not bringing the right result. They're tenacious doing things to a way where other people around them are uncomfortable. They're telling them, why don't you try this way? No, I've done this before. It's going to work. Don't worry. It's going to work. This is something I know it's going to work. If you're like that, it says here, not me, you're a control freak. And the third one is they're very invasive. They don't respect people's privacy. And I like the example here. They said an invasive person will see probably a woman and say, I noticed that you and your husband, you guys, you don't stay together in church again. What's going on? Are you people having marital issues? Mind your business. A control freak wants to solve your problem, and so they get into details that is not their business. If you're like that, you poke your nose into what is not your business. You're a control freak. You want to mind other people's things. What is your own? You're looking and you're saying, okay, somebody looked at me and said, are you saying, how many set of glasses do you have? I said, I have quite a number of glasses. He said, you have a problem with that. He said, it's not like that. It's just that, it looks like they wanted to get into my business. Come on. Mind your business. Mind your business. If you're like that, can you please stop being like that? Don't get into other people's, pot or soup. It's not respectful. Don't get into other people's privacy. Don't ask questions that are not appropriate, because it's not. You can imagine somebody telling someone, you're fairer now than you used to be before. Do you use bleaching cream or something? Come on. Don't do that. That is one of the attributes of a control freak. I'm enjoying this, okay? They're obsessive. They are obsessive. Obsession is really not good. And he used an example here that blew my mind. And he talked about a scientist who came to give a talk somewhere. And when he stood up, is he a scientist, a speaker? He's a reputable economist. When he stood up, people were expecting him to say something. So what he did was he got a white sheet of paper and put a black dot on it and asked people what they can see. And one person said, a black spot. Other people said black spot. He walked up to other people, and the person said, I can see a black spot. And the speaker went back to his seat. He didn't say anything again. Everybody started looking around. What's going on? He has not said anything. No, he has said a lot. What he has said is, it's not just a black spot there. There's also a white piece of paper. I love that. When you concentrate on just one thing and you don't see the bigger picture, you're being obsessive about something. You see only one bad thing. How can you look at somebody and the only thing you're seeing is a pimple on their face? What about the wonderful lipstick? What about the good shoes they're wearing? How can you look at somebody you're in a relationship with and you always just see one little dirt somewhere? What about the work they've been doing all day? How can you just overlook that wonderful tie that your spouse is wearing? And you're seeing the fact that, come on, why did you comb your hair this way? Why did you even cut your hair this way? Why do you even like the style? You're seeing a black spot on a white piece of paper. That's what he's saying. Don't bite into something. Don't be obsessive about certain things. Always look at the bigger picture. I'm sure you like that. Like I said, you can make your comments. And if you're one, all you need to do is to repent. What else do they do? Control freaks. They're perfectionists. Yeah, I know that because I know me. When you're someone that wants everything to be perfect, see, let me tell you, everything can't be perfect. When you think everything is not perfect, what this book says is you are imperfect. An imperfect person wants everything to be perfect. It's not possible. A perfect person knows that everything cannot be perfect. Why? You will wear out yourself trying to make it perfect. Don't wear out yourself. Everything is not going to be just the way you want it to be or the way they're supposed to be. So just calm down and let some things go. Sometimes laugh about it and say, oh my God, that thing is wobbling. It's not straight. Sometimes I hang some pictures on my wall and some people come in and say it's not straight. And I tell them I like it that way. And maybe I really like it that way. I'm just saying, can you just leave that? Because it's not a life and death issue. It mustn't be perfect. It mustn't be perfect. So just accept it that way. And don't be a perfectionist. If you don't remember anything about this, remember that a French writer, Francois Fenelon, had to say about perfection. He said it is only imperfection that complains of what is imperfect. The more perfect we are, the more gentle and quiet we become toward the defects of others. As a recovering control freak myself, I confess that I take these words to heart. The more perfect you are, the more you're patient with people. The more perfect you become, the more you let things go. You turn blind eyes to certain things. Then you're becoming perfect. So don't say I'm a perfectionist. I like everything being perfect. It only shows that you're really imperfect. Of course, the next one is that control freaks are critical. I love to talk about this a lot, especially when it comes to communication. I've talked about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse by John Gottman. I love that. I love to talk to couples about that. Anytime you get critical with people, they get defensive. So when you see people that are very defensive when you're talking to them, check what you said. Most likely, it didn't come out right. It was critical. That's why you see them say, what about you? Or no, I don't like doing that. Oh, this and that. Whenever you hear people start arguing with you when you say certain things, you came off critical. So instead of thinking, oh, they're proud, they don't like to take correction, tell yourself, I think I criticized them there, or I sounded judgmental. So say, oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it came out right. What I'm saying is, then put it in a better way to let them know that you don't mean anything personal. A control freak doesn't think that way. A control freak just says, that is the way I talk. I don't know how to start bending things. I just say the way it is. No, you don't do that. You're trying to control people the way you're talking. Don't be critical. And the next one is irritable. They're cranky and contentious. They're touchy and testy. These are the kinds of words that pop into people's minds to describe a certain person. They said she's always cranky. Control freaks are always cranky. Why? I don't blame them, because they always want things to be done the way they want to be done. And if you don't do it that way, they get irritated. They said a woman got so irritated because she was running late. She was honking when the train was passing. Does she want the train to move? It can't happen like that. If you're in a relationship and you're very irritable, you need therapy, some kind of therapy, and you need God to help you. Pray about it. Why? Because when you're irritable, you make life unbearable for people around you. When you're cranky, when you always getting upset when people do certain things, I knew that about myself once when I was watching a movie and I got angry, at somebody that was in a movie, and I closed my eyes and said, for crying out loud, this person is just acting the script. And that made me see how irritable I can be. Work on it if you catch yourself doing that. If not, you're not going to have a good relationship if you're very irritable. Okay, they are also very demanding. They want you to do what they want you to do. Why? Because they feel entitled. Control freaks always feel entitled. In this book, they said a man would tell his wife, don't pick that call here. Go to the next room and pick your call. Why would you say that? Why can't you get out and let the person pick the calls there? They're very demanding. They feel they have a right to tell you to do certain things. No, you don't have a right to make anybody do anything. Nobody owes you nada. So, except you're a control freak. So it's time for you to make sure you're not like that. They're very demanding. It says here also, I like this, they're very rigid. They think everything is the way it is. It's hard to get a control freak to change their ways. I need to tell you that the only thing that is permanent is change. They're very rigid in their ways. They do things the way they want to do things, and it's difficult to convince them not to do it that way. They are very rigid. And if you don't want to be a control freak, it's time for you to stop that. And finally, they are close-minded. Close-mindedness. If everybody was close-minded, we won't be flying in the plane. There won't be electricity. If you always believe in your own norm, see, don't say something is normal. You could say it's typical to certain culture or to certain people. Don't say, oh, women normally do this. Oh, men normally do this. No, you're just being closed-minded. I used to be like that too. Until I started, counseling people. I used to say certain things like, that's a woman thing. Oh, that's a man thing. No, that's closed-mindedness. It's not a woman thing. We all are who we are. There is nothing called this is the normal thing. No, there is nothing that is normal. It's normal to you. It's not normal to some other people. Somebody met me once and said, you know what? I really don't like when women wear red lipsticks. I said, oh my goodness, I love them. The person said, why? I said, because that's what I love. I don't need to justify it to you. I just love it. If you look at me closely, you will like me with it. Don't be close-minded. Try to give people a benefit of a doubt when they're doing certain things. I tell couples all the time, instead of asking questions in a way like you're a police officer, stop being like investigative when you're asking certain things. Be curious. You want to know why the person did what they did. Be curious. Don't say, why would you do that? Just say, you like that, right? What makes you do that? You want to know why they do what they're doing, and you're not putting it out there because you feel what they're doing is abnormal. You know things are changing, right? Everybody knows things are changing. Don't be stuck in your ways and think everything's going to be the way it's always going to be. Don't be closed-minded. Be willing to learn from people. Be willing to know why people do what they do. Be willing to get to know people better and stop jumping into conclusion. Why? Because you're not meant to be a control freak. And this is where I'm going to be rounding up today. I usually talk more books, but because we don't have so much time, please go buy your book. Remember, we have other books we have read: Boundaries, Love is a Choice, my book, A Beautiful Life, When Sorry Isn't Enough. And we are starting with this book, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. No excuses, no excuses, no excuses. You want to excuse all your excuses, go and begin to read this book. And I will be with you the last Saturday of the month at 3 p.m. Central Time, and that will be 9 p.m. West African Time. I want to remind every one of us that I'm Reverend Olufolake Ike. That's my name, and I'm the senior pastor at Pifom. We usually have services on Sundays, and we're doing something now, 1 hour with Olufolake every Sunday at 8502 Cambridge Street, Houston, Texas, 77054, 11:30 to 12:30 is 1 hour. So I'm talking about either the way you're thinking, I'm talking about what you say, I'm talking about how you can kick the kickers, how you can kill the killers. I just want you to be a better person. I want you to live life because life is beautiful, life is colorful, and you can always join, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Please subscribe to my channel. It's youtube.com/c/c Folake EK. If you've seen any of the videos, please like it and share it with other people. Please make sure that you make me succeed. Why? Because when you're committed to someone, people will be committed to you. It's a seed soul harvest thing. Remember this Pifom book club. I love this book club. It helps you to want to read. I'll see you next time. Ciao.